Welcome back to the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I'm the host of the show. I'm sitting here with Robert Yockel, and I said Yockel right?
You got it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I should have. I get a sense wrong so many times. I probably should have mentioned it. But you did good.
Nice.
You did good.
Well, thanks for the Facebook. They allow you to pronunciate your name.
Yockel.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, so we're gonna read the ads for today, and the only ad for today is the advertising space for this show. So if you want me to talk about your business at the beginning of every show, or however many shows you would like to purchase, I guess, then you can make that happen by reaching out to the show. And it's still a little out of line this time. I don't know why. It's a little bit out of frame. Composition's a little off. But so that's the ads for the show. And once we fix that a little bit, and we'll roll the intro music. This is a show where we have real conversations with the business owners and entrepreneurs here in Colorado Springs, doing things in the community of Colorado Springs.
Good.
All right, cool. So Robert, how's it going?
Good. It's been a busy day. So,
yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I just came off a job site and I'm kind of a little dirty still. So
okay,
it's been a busy morning.
So tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure. It's a Premier
or at least one of their businesses.
Yeah, well, we have a couple of brands. It's Premier Carpet Cleaning is the primary brand, and I've been doing this since 1999. So I officially passed 20 years here in April. Just focused on the carpet cleaning, and we have been kind of growing the business for many years. I was in my garage, just kind of running it by myself.
True American story.
Yeah, and after many years of that, I was getting to the point where it was 60, 70 hours a week of just being out there on the truck cleaning carpets, and it was finally time to take that next step. And I had a great employee who was working with me, and it's just been from there. This was only about 3.5, 4 years ago. We went from one truck in my garage to actually today we just purchased our 12th business in Colorado Springs.
Oh, wow.
And so we have 12 other carpet cleaning companies.
Okay.
As of right today. That's what I was doing this morning. I was hauling all the stuff out of their garage. And so we have 9 carpet cleaning vans now.
Okay.
But I am looking to sell one. So if somebody wants, I have too many. Don't have enough parking spaces. But it's just been a lot of growth.
To have.
Yeah, right. It's better to have too much than not. So I'm not gonna complain about that.
So that's interesting with carpet cleaning, at least, and maybe some other industries as well. But I've noticed it with carpet cleaning as well. You said you own multiple businesses.
Yeah, well, it's basically because I've been in the town for so long, everyone knows me, and also we build a lot of our machines and we refurbish them and repair them, and so other people in town will just be like, "Hey, Robert, I'm having this problem with this water pump or blower or whatever it is." These things break all the time. If anyone in this business, they're constantly fixing their machines.
For sure.
And and it really there's only one real repair shop in town to fix them, and they can be on week-long waits. And meanwhile, you're losing a business. So, they would call me and say, "Robert, how do I fix this? How do I get this working?" And I get to know people. And, that's how the first one got sold to me is, basically as a guy, I never charge anyone to fix it. I want to help him out. And he gives me a hand every now and then if I'm short on something. And he said, "Hey, man, can you take this off my hands? Obviously you know what you're doing." And so that's how we bought that first business and went from 1 to 2 trucks. And then after that, it's just kind of been, I guess I became the guy people think of when they want to sell their carpet cleaning business. And so, and also we do really quality work. Online we have over 2,000 5-star reviews.
Wow.
We have more 5-star reviews than any other company in Colorado Springs, not just carpet cleaning companies. So
is that out of all your companies together or just
Well,
Premier?
They all go under Premier Carpet Cleaning.
Okay.
So really in the long run, we get in touch with them and we let the customers know that, hey, I've been working with Jerry or John or whatever, and they've decided to retire from the business, but they've trusted us with their equipment. They've trusted us to do some of their work over the years, so we're going to take care of you, and just bring you all under one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because rather than trying to maintain the social media websites of 12 different companies.
That'd be insane. Ugh.
I don't even like doing my own Facebook, nonetheless 12 others. And, we just make it really simple and just let them know that, they're all part of the family now. And, we still talk to all the owners that we've worked with. And it's been a good experience for us.
So when you buy it from them, do they still operate it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually retire.
Okay.
I know you haven't done a lot of carpet cleaning, but it's very physical. So, that was one of the reasons I also decided to expand the business. I was starting to have some physical limitations, as I was getting older, I can't, push one for 10 hours a day anymore.
Yeah.
It just starts to beat on you. So,
For sure.
What is it? Chris, who owns Pros Team, he just retired. We took over his business. I mean, he's stiff. He's been doing it for 30, 40 years, So it's, after a while, you just kind of takes a toll on you.
Mm-hmm.
So, we do, and also we're very familiar with their equipment. We're familiar with their customers. So it's a really easy transition.
For sure.
Yeah.
So for 17 years, you were just yourself?
Sort of. I worked for another company for a little bit before that, another company in town, and I ran there. By the time I was 21, I was in charge of the entire Pikes Peak region, Pueblo, South Denver, and Castle Rock. And so at that point, the company, the way that they were running things was, I didn't feel like a good business model. They were they would basically just offer these really cheap prices and then go in and just talk people into the actual price. In the business, we call that bait and switch.
It's shiesty kind of.
Yeah. So we spent too much money on marketing, because because I ran all the books and everything. Our marketing budget was a huge portion of the amount of money coming in. We had to spend all this money because no one ever called us back. At the end of the day, they didn't feel like they got a good experience. So when I started my business, I went with the exact opposite direction. I said, everything's included in the price. We're not here to sell you on any additional services. We're here to provide you with a great quality job at a reasonable price that is upfront and it's already there for you. And so that's one of the reasons we've had such a good reputation, which, continues to help people find us, So we really push that as a model of, honesty and being upfront with people. I'll go into a house and, we do it many times a year. We walk in the door and go, I'm sorry, guys, you need some new carpet.
Yeah.
you can pay me to clean this, but, it's not going to look very good.
For sure.
And that level of honesty really comes across, it goes a long ways. So,
yeah, because it'll be essentially a waste of money for them in the long run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
and, especially when they're moving out of the house and, Fido did a great job of painting the floor with pee, and it's just like, I don't think your property manager is going to be really happy with this. And, we'll get in touch with the property manager and let them know that we don't think it's worth cleaning. And, oftentimes that's a good way for them to get to know us too, and, really helps us grow our brand. So
for sure.
Yeah. And our people are just exceptionally trained, and we give them that idea that, you're not losing money by turning down this job. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with it. So we'd rather you walk away from something that's going to become a problem than walk into something, that's definitely going to be an issue down the road.
So how many employees do you have?
We have 14 right now.
Okay.
Honestly, I've never had anybody quit.
Oh, wow.
So we always, it's I've had people retire,
that's
people
that's
move
almost
away.
impossible. How'd you do that?
we pay really well.
Okay.
And that's really important. I think it's important for people to make a living where they can buy a house. They can afford to pay their bills.
Yeah.
It's I think a lot of times consumers, they'll see my pricing, it's a little bit higher, and they'll think, oh well, that's kind of expensive. I'm like, well, ma'am, I provide health insurance for my employees. I give them a living wage. If you want a $12 an hour person, you'll get a $12 an hour carpet cleaning. So you're going to get a person who doesn't know what they're doing. So it's people really respond to the quality level of employees we have because we do provide a stable living wage, and we provide health insurance and retirement and some of those things that you don't normally see at a normal carpet cleaning business or even any service business for the most part. So, because it's a very technical job. Like I said, there's equipment constantly breaks. There's always things going wrong all day, and it takes that experience and know-how to be able to kind of cross those bridges, and become that expert and, like all these different materials. Like I walked in the door, I immediately recognize what kind of carpet you have here, stuff like that. That comes with time, not something you're going to get from someone you hire, train for a week, pay them $12 an hour to clean carpet. So
yeah, and I was thinking about that on my walk up here today from my car, but and I was thinking about how it's so cool how like we have all these businesses in a community that specialize in such small things as such as carpet cleaning,
absolutely.
that's insane. Like
it's
awesome.
Great to specialize. It's great to specialize. Jack of all trades is a master of none. So we do have a restoration division as well. We do floods and fires and all that really unpleasant stuff that people don't like to deal with. I've done enough sewage jobs to keep me awake at night. But those are not my favorite. But we,
sure.
nice clean water. Those are great to do.
Yeah.
So that's that's something we've been really working on growing too, and that's been really great, especially because carpet cleaning is very seasonal. You kind of have this really big run of work of May through basically the end of September, and everything starts to settle down. But restoration, on the other hand, really picks up in the winter, burst pipes, so on.
Why
and
do
so
you
forth.
think it settles down?
That's just the housing industry. So people are more likely to list and sell their homes in the summer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's a lot of your guys' work. I think we were on the phone recently, and you were saying that you get really busy at the end of the month, right?
Yes, because all the property managers and all the people and everyone says, hey, you got to have your carpets cleaned by the 31st because that's when you're moving out. So we get that end of the month block. It's just exceptionally busy,
especially like midsummer, probably.
Yeah, like the end. We just finished our busiest couple of weeks at the end of July. So
Okay.
those were very very busy days. Everybody got everybody pumped up meetings. Hey guys, get ready for 12-hour work days just for a little bit, and then it'll go back to normal. I swear.
There's money involved.
Yeah, so it'll settle down.
Yeah.
But it keeps us really going, and I mean, really, especially in the carpet cleaning industry, we'll lose money in January and February, like significant amounts, because I pay people salary and stuff, so I make sure that they can still maintain their living, and I'm used to the ebb and flow of things, and a lot of people they don't do that. They don't save up that little extra money for when it starts to be slow again. So I always kind of encourage guys to we're going to kind of try to spread that money out over the year, so you're you're getting paying your bills in January just as much as you're buying PlayStations or whatever in July. Or bought that car that you probably shouldn't have.
For sure.
So we all do that sometimes.
When I was in the gutter industry, I guess that's still the housing industry.
Sure, yeah.
I know it was typical for a lot of people to file unemployment in the off season.
Yeah, we can. So we'll do occasionally. We don't do it for everybody. We try to discourage it because we want you to find something to do. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so especially we build a lot of our machines and stuff, so we stay pretty busy with that kind of stuff.
Cleaning the shop.
Maybe, getting everything reorganized. So we just bought a building. We're going to be moving in that in the winter because that's when we're slow. So I'm like, hey guys, you got nothing to do? Grab a paintbrush. You're over here tearing out a wall. Stuff like that. Just keep guys doing stuff all year. We always find some kind of wacky project. It seems like every winter. To keep people doing stuff. But those unemployment numbers. Because eventually you do pay for that. So when people go for that seasonal unemployment, it just kicks up your unemployment insurance.
Oh, okay.
So over time. So I'd rather keep people busy because in the long run I'm going to pay them anyway. I'd rather pay them to do something. And, we'll find something to do. That's there's always something.
For sure, yeah. Because with the sod, I know a lot of sod companies, they'll do like snow removal in the winter.
Sure. We've considered it. I don't think we'll go. I got enough stuff to do.
But
sure. We also do we had on hardwood floor cleaning recently.
Okay.
That wasn't recently. I guess that's 3 years ago now. But we've been doing hardwood floors
in
for
the
a
winter,
while.
all the snow coming in and probably gets the hardwood floor a lot dirtier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and what it does actually, it's like a deep cleaning on the wood, and then we put down like a new coat. It's called a wearable urethane finish. So it just makes it look like you just had it sanded, and it looks amazing. The only downside is you can't walk on it for 8 hours after we're done, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than peeling up, a layer of flooring, and it looks great. So we've been doing that a lot, especially when people go to sell their homes, because people walk in, they just say bling and just see that nice shine, looks good, because that's that first impression.
So anyone looking to sell their home that has hardwood flours, you know what to do.
Tile, hardwood floors, carpet, all that stuff. It's all about that first impression. So, I was in a job the other day. The customer was trying to decide whether or not to replace the carpet, and it wasn't in great shape, but it wasn't that bad. But the rest of the house wasn't that great shape either. And I said, well, ma'am, you're either going to spend $20,000 and make this look like a model home, or you're going to spend a few $100 and clean everything, and just make it look like you maintain the house. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to flip the house and put that extra money into the property, it makes sense, to try to get very top dollar. But the conditions of the material at the time, I didn't think it made sense.
And you're a very busy man. I can let you pull out your
phone. No, you're fine. I just keep pressing it because otherwise it'll ring. And I forgot to turn my ringer off.
Yeah, that's one thing we like to go over at the beginning, but we forgot to
I totally
turn
spaced it. No, you're good. You're good. That's okay. Yeah, it's Monday. That's kind of our all the phones are ringing. But,
Mondays are interesting.
It's always our busiest day for sure. So yeah, absolutely.
So So how long have you been an entrepreneur, a business person?
Well, I mean, I've had to start from the beginning. When I was young, I lived on a golf course with my father, and he was near the water hazard, and I'd go out there, this was in Florida, and go out there and try to avoid the gators and get all the golf balls. And then I had a little thing, and I'd go...
As a kid?
Yeah. I was like 10, and I'd sell the golf balls back to the guys as they came around.
Hey.
So that was my first go at it.
Those are my favorite kinds of stories, and that's a pretty unique one. I like that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you go in there. I had a pole and some big old waders, and I go in there and dig through the mud and find all these old golf.
At a discount, or
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
10 cents.
Geez, I don't remember. Probably about $1 or something.
Okay.
But still, that was quite a bit to me at the time.
Yeah, 10-year-old. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was pleased as punch. That was enough to hit up the old, candy shop or whatever.
Yeah.
So, get some penny candy.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And then what after that?
After that, I got into marketing a lot out of in high school. What I went to school for after high school was engineering.
Okay.
Which is a lot of why we build our own machines. I actually have a background in mechanical engineering. And then I basically got a job working at a carpet cleaning place part-time while I was going to college.
Okay.
And that kind of went from part-time to full-time real fast because they wanted me there all the time. And, and I was doing really well. And then, so I put college on hold. And then I went one day, kind of decided I was going to start my own business at that juncture, and left and started from scratch. And then once again went back to college thinking I was eventually going to go do engineering. And, about, 60 grand in debt later and some other stuff, I was kind of thinking, man, I'm making more money doing carpets than I would after I finish this whole thing. So I ended up actually kind of sticking with my day job at that juncture. And really, I mean, I've just been doing carpets forever, and that's just been the same thing for a really, really long time, which which meant, I have a lot of expertise in it. I work with professional boards online. I answer questions. I help people repair equipment. And actually I have a patent in the industry. It's like a...
what is that?
Yeah, it's called the hugger. So it squeezes around doors and other areas where the hoses tend to scrape. So back in where what we still use are these little corner guard things.
Yeah.
But whenever you're near a staircase or you're near something else, they just fall over.
Yep.
They don't really stay there. And so these were designed to actually have like a spring-loaded mechanism in them that actually squeezes the wall, but it's padded, and that way, the hoses couldn't knock them over in a stairwell and stuff like that. So I used to actually make them and have them kept in my garage at my house, which is pretty awful. When you get a shipping container from China, you'd be amazed how much space that is. And so after a while, I sold the concept to another company, and then I just get a royalty on it still.
I was about to say, is like they manufacture it and they do everything, and
yeah, they just do it. I just get $5 anytime someone buys one.
Sweet!
I don't have to do anything.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was awful. So
did that come from your engineering background?
I'd like to think so, but
Okay.
I mean, I just saw a need for something that was a consistent annoyance in my day.
Definitely.
And just filled that role. So, really the first couple of years selling them out of my house was not fun, I'll be honest with you. And
it turned into a job that you didn't want, probably.
Yeah. And my ex-wife, now my ex-wife, she just took her entire parking spot up in the garage.
Oh.
And, she really wanted her parking space back. So
that's why she's your ex. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's probably because I was working 70 hours a week. But that's how it is. But we're on good terms. So
that's good. Yeah.
So we're all good. We're all good. So I got 2 kids. So
that's cool.
Little boy, little girl. So
sweet. So do you think, that engineering background and going to school, yes, it was a $60,000 debt, but now you're the go-to guy for repairing carpet cleaning stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that's paid off? In
in a sense. I mean, it definitely, because I've always been the kind of person where, when I was a kid, I like to take apart things and, and
fix people's bikes, maybe.
Yeah. And when I envisioned doing engineering work, kind of ignorantly, I kind of, pictured like Mythbusters. I'm going to build stuff and blow stuff up and experiment. And then, a friend of mine, he finished up his degree and, he got a job working somewhere in town here, and he was only making like $40,000 a year, which was a lot of money considering the amount of money we spent on the education, or it wasn't a lot of money compared to the amount spent on the education, in my opinion. And and he hated his job. I'm never against going to college. I think it's great, and for the right person, it's definitely super important. Just for me, I think at the end of the day, I wish I didn't in terms of that, because it really didn't change the direction of my life as much as it could have.
And you hear that way too often, like more than what it should be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I've always heard you should be able to make, in your first year's salary, you should be able to make the cost of your entire education.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens as often as they say.
I think it may be a slight scheme.
I don't know. It's I mean, all I know is those tuition prices are going way up there, and the cost of the amount of money people get is not going.
Well, thankfully, I think, in my opinion, I think the internet is leveling the playing field on that.
Sure, absolutely.
And allowing people to realize that they don't, allowing people that know that they want to go to college, obviously do that, but allowing the people who would have wasted their money to have other options.
Yeah, look around. It's not a... I think when I was kid, my mom was always says, "Oh, you're gonna be a plastic surgeon, so that way you can make me look pretty, and I'm old." And she always just had this idea I was gonna be a doctor,
Yeah.
And I just, that was just, she just always talked about how I was gonna go to college and all that stuff. And she ended up passing away my senior year of high school. So after that, I was on my own, and so I actually, for a brief period, I moved back to New York City, where I was from, and I was a homeless person.
Oh wow.
I slept on the streets. I begged for money, and did that for a little while, and learned a lot about what I wanted my life to be like from there. Nothing teaches you more about the need for a sense of security than living like that.
Definitely.
And it was very hard. Very,
And how old were you?
At the time, I was 18, just turned 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my mom passed away right after my birthday. So I was just giving it a shot, and then basically eventually I decided, I'm going to go back to Colorado Springs. It's a lot cheaper there. At least it was. I don't know. Rents are going crazy, but at the time it was just really expensive to live there, because I was born and raised in New York, and my mom moved me over here when I was 16, and then basically passed away 2 years later. And I said, well, I want to go back to New York City. I'm a New York City guy. And you know what? And I've been back since then. It's a beautiful town. I love it. It's just I don't think I'd want to raise my family there at this point, but I love visiting. It's a great town. It's a lot of fun.
Never been.
Never been? Oh, you got to go. Don't waste too much time on the touristy stuff. Do some of the stuff in the village. Eat lots of restaurants. The food's amazing.
Okay.
I love Colorado Springs restaurants. We have some great food, and we're starting to, especially in the past couple of years, has just been phenomenal. The influx of great, amazing local restaurants that we're starting to see. And
COVID may have just wiped about 60% of them out.
I'm hoping you're going to stick in there, because I tell you, there's plenty of. I was sad to see a couple of them have closed. But I really hope that there's a resurgence of that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
that really just increased. It just brought the culture alive here that we just kind of didn't have. That I felt like when I moved here when I was younger. I felt like, when I first got here, it was like everything was like a Starbucks or a McDonald's. Everything was just like these chain restaurants.
Like a small town kind of.
Yeah, it was. It was like, to me, in my opinion, coming from New York City.
Oh yeah, every city's a small town.
Yeah, to me, it looked like a truck stop. And I was like, what are we doing out here in this podunk town? But over the past few years, it's really flourished, and I just love seeing these restaurants. I love supporting the restaurants. My wife runs About the Springs. It's a Instagram feed where we just go through to these restaurants and take pictures and talk to the people who run the restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Instagram. It's at About the Springs.
I bet I follow it.
We do. We do tons of stuff. We do giveaways almost every week. One of the restaurants just has us, give away a gift card or something, and so we really try to support that local restaurant scene. I love to cook, so that's a big passion of mine. She loves to cook, and she's amazing at all that. So taking pictures, I'm kind of like fumbly with my phone. She's like super good at it.
Nice.
But it's been really been great, kind of doing that too, getting to meet some of the restaurant owners, and we do also the cleaning. We do a lot of cleaning in a lot of these restaurants too. So
for sure.
Yeah.
I bet that's. Is it connected to her page?
No. It's
and that's not even the purpose of it either.
I wouldn't step on that. No, it's just really to support those local businesses. I mean, we don't make any money on it. It's just something we do for fun.
For sure.
And we just really like doing that. I think it's great. And I love eating out, and I love cooking, and I love going to all these new restaurants. Every time one opens up, we're in there as soon as humanly possible. So I like to support the local community and keep that money local as best I can.
There's a cool place that's opening up. I can't pronounce the name, but it's on Tejon. And it's called Coati or something like that. But it's like 6 startup restaurants in one spot.
Yeah, isn't that off of where the old train station used to be?
I think so. It feels like that would be a spot where that would be.
Yeah, I think I know.
But it's right next to Atomic Cowboy.
Okay, great. Yeah, so awesome. Yeah, that's kind of. Yeah, I love. Honestly, anyone who's opening a restaurant right now, big thumbs up to you guys.
Yeah.
Just, you are got some,
For sure.
you got it. So
Yeah.
good.
Well,
good
what's
you.
crazy
Yeah.
is a lot of these people, this is their dream. They've been planning for it, and it's
Years
like they
and
have no
years, yeah.
choice but to go all in.
I think we've really starting to see things take a turn in the right direction. I think, people are getting used to the idea of wearing the mask. They're getting used to the idea of the new normal concept.
Yeah.
Like we can still go out to eat, and we can still order food in. We can still support these local businesses. We can buy gift cards at them. My wife's nail salon. She just bought a gift card from them.
Mm-hmm.
Just so they have some money coming in, you know what I mean, while they were closed. So, and that's a great way to support a local business. Just say, hey, I don't need you right now, but I'm going to here, I trust you. I want to keep you in business. I want you to be here, when everything, whether it's 1 month from now or 2 years from now is 100% back to normal.
Yeah.
And
because they still need funds.
They still, something got to keep those doors open.
Yeah.
I mean, I know like during a lot of this during the beginning, they're like, oh, well, the commercial buildings will furlough rent. And I was like, no, they're not. I think the day that came out on the news, the next day, my property manager at the place we were renting was like, by the way, we're not furloughing any of your rent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you have a problem with that, you can go take a loan out. Okay, no problem. Which we didn't have to deal with anyway. We did see a pretty dramatic shortfall, like April, a little bit of May, right in that beginning time frame. We are considered essential because we're a cleaning service, but really we felt it was best, in this scenario, we just didn't do any occupied homes at the time. So we just did any kind of move outs and stuff like that, which, cut back our work significantly.
Definitely.
But we felt that was safest for our guys, especially since everything was up in the air. We didn't, know what the right decisions were to do, but we cut down dramatically and, cut our costs down and, made some, just smart decisions to keep things, safe for everybody, but at the same time know that our doors will be able to open back up in a month. So, and it's been a very interesting and challenging time, and I think this is the kind of time where people, either flourish or they fall, and we just hope all those folks that are having a hard time right now, find a way to kind of step back up and get back on their feet again with something new.
And I think it also exposes some bad businesses. Yeah, because those are the ones that were not all businesses, but a lot of times business struggles because they're not doing something right.
Sure. Yeah, they're missing something. Yeah. And I hope a lot of folks that because a lot of times that may not be something they could have done any differently.
For sure. Yeah.
In those situations, I hope those folks don't give up on the entrepreneurial spirit,
Definitely, yeah.
Because there's always those times when you fall down, and I've made a ton of business mistakes over my time. Yeah. But that's how you learn.
Just imagine making a mistake right a week before COVID hit.
Oh yeah, timing is everything.
Yes.
But you make those mistakes, but that's how you learn, and that's how you grow, and that's how you make those next steps as a business person. Really the best lessons I ever learned was from doing something wrong. And
from being on the streets.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, those too, and even even in business, even in hiring, even in anything in life, I think your best learning experiences are when things go wrong.
100%.
So this may turn into something good. I'm hoping it will, and I hope everybody out there stays safe, and I hope that we do a good job of recovering from this, because we really had a super strong economy going into it, so we were in a good position.
I think it was the best the economy's ever been, actually.
Yeah, I'm driving around and I'm just like watching these houses get stapled together, like wow. Every week there was another apartment complex.
They'll need carpet. They're going to need carpet.
Sure. Talking to everybody.
Or you don't place the carpet. You clean the carpet.
We just clean them. Yeah. Okay, we do carpet repairs though. So we do a lot of that. So holes and stretching and burn marks. I think I have this conversation with every customer that calls in. We can clean your carpet, but we can't grow it back. So if anyone ever figures that one out, give me a call. You'll make a ton of money. Just sprinkle some carpet grow on there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fill that hole in. So get that organic carpet.
Now you're getting me thinking.
Yeah. Indoor grass kind of thing.
Yeah. Kind of like a bioengineered kind of thing.
Yeah. You set it on fire, no problem.
Yeah.
So you see some weird stuff sometimes.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So what do you plan on going with this business? What's your What's your end game?
Well, we just bought a warehouse that we're going to move into here in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
The current guy who's in the building, he was the owner operator of his business. He's got a lot of stuff in there, so it's kind of slowly, getting moved around. As soon as he's ready to go, we're going to move over there. And from there, we want to kind of we're thinking about stepping a little bit into the janitorial realm, and doing a couple of other services like in that. That kind of have to do with the commercial market. Because right now we've seen a big surge of the janitorial industry kind of stepping into the carpet industry, and that's because of some newer equipment that's become more prevalent, and that's a lot better than it used to, and newer products that has allowed.
They can clean the carpets.
They can, and so like in the industry we call it VLM, or very low moisture cleaning, or low moisture cleaning, or end capping, or pad capping. There's a lot of terms for it. They're all different, but the machinery for that, as opposed to like one of our carpet cleaning rigs. At the end of the day, you're looking about $80,000 investment in one of those rigs. A VLM machine, very, very nice one, would probably run you around $3,000. And it's standalone. You can put it in the back of your Honda Civic. Okay, so and those units, they don't extract. They just they encapsulate. So they use these kind of polymer type products to absorb the material that's in the carpet, and then it gets dry vacuumed later. But these types of products are phenomenal when you're looking at a 80,000 square foot of carpet in a building, right? And then commercial grade carpet is, about yay thick. It's real thin, eighth of an inch height carpet. Those absorbing polymers do a really good job. And so it's not the same thing as steam cleaning. It still will need that extraction eventually. But at the same time, when you can talk to that property manager and say, hey, I'm the janitor, I can also do all the carpets in here for X, Y, and Z, which would be probably about half of the cost of, bringing an $80,000 truck in, running 1,000 foot of hose into a gigantic building, and steam cleaning all the carpets. That sounds pretty attractive to them, and really it does work well. I don't recommend it, and neither does the IICRC or the CRI recommend those procedures.
Are those carpet cleaning associations?
I'm sorry. CR Carpet and Rug Institute inspection. IICRC is the Institute of Inspection, Restoration, and Cleaning Certification or something. Okay. But anyway, they don't recommend those procedures for residential. So you really don't want to just scrub your house with like smushy chemical, to make it look, because it's more of an appearance cleaning. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So, you don't want to do that in a house. You want the steam cleaning. You want to rinse those materials, and especially the way we set up our truck mounts, we clean with a much bigger hose. We use more water, more heat. So we're cleaning at like 2 gallons a minute at 220 degrees. So that is really rinsing that material out. These types of low moisture cleaning services are really designed for this kind of hard, low profile carpet. You're just basically making it look better with those polymers, and it's a very good product. And we do a lot of it. It's just kind of the ability of those janitorial services to pick that equipment up very cheaply and to be able to do that service in house. Has definitely put a strain on the commercial carpet industry.
It's changing the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's a good product. I got a buddy of mine out in Las Vegas. He's one of the biggest manufacturers in the country, and so he makes the stuff, and we get a distributor pricing on it. But it really makes a great deal of difference. Is it the same thing as steam cleaning and extracting the carpet? No. But at the end of the day, if you got a 150,000 square foot building and you need it done and you don't want to spend XYZ dollars, it's really a great way to do it. And it does look good. It is sanitary. It has disinfectants in it, and it does make the carpet look a lot better. And the soil is removed. It's just later when it's dry vacuum. Just don't do it in your house. It's kind of like that. I don't know if you're a dry shampoo. They used to take ladies used to use this stuff instead of having to take a shower because they have super expensive hairdos. I have heard of it. Yeah, and they dust their head with a can of powder and then rub it in, and it makes it look like your hair is clean.
Yeah.
But is your hair very clean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It sounds like a product that came out of the 80s.
Oh, yeah. I know longer, way further back than that. Yeah, because they get those big beehive dudes. Dunk it full of this powder to kind of rub it in, So that way they don't have to take a shower and mess their hair up. So
for sure.
But yeah, so it, with the steam cleaning, we do get longer dry times, of course. Those low moisture cleanings, you're dry in less than an hour. But with the steam cleaning, it's the amount of water that we can rinse through it and the amount of pressure that we create operate with our machines, because they're very specialized. We have very big vacuum motors on them, and that allows us to rinse with more and therefore remove more. And so, it's kind of like when your washing machine goes through that compression cycle and it's smushing all the water out of it. That's the same thing we're doing. And we can do it at such a high rate with more water, more heat, and that you just get a better clean product. Back in the day, we all used to clean carpet with these little steel wands, and we had one jet of water coming out about this big, and we rinsed it with this high pH product, okay? And that high pH product made the carpet look really good, but it left it stiff as a board. And so when you're rinsing something with a chemical, is the carpet ever chemical free? And the answer is no. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just rinsing with more and more chemical. And so the carpets would be like this at the end of the day, and people didn't like it. And they'd be like, oh, carpet cleaning makes my carpet get dirtier faster. It used to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
It's the way that
it definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nowadays we use water softeners in all the trucks, and that just leaves the carpet really nice, really soft, and free of as much chemical as humanly possible, just like your washing machine's doing. So.
And that kind of goes back to what I was thinking of, like how we have these specialized industries for so many different services, and it's so great to be alive in this time right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's cool because each industry, carpet cleaning, whether it be gutters or whatever, even since the 70s, has evolved so much over time. And so where do you see the carpet cleaning company or carpet cleaning industry going?
Well, it's going to shrink some. Carpet as a flooring in general has lost a lot of favor. So, in the homes, I've been doing this for a very long time, and every phone call I would get, back in 2000 was, okay, I need my living room, dining room, and 3 bedrooms and stairs cleaned. So now it's more like, I need my 3 bedrooms and stairs cleaned.
Okay.
Because they got rid of the living room, dining room. It's all wood floors now, or it's LVT, or a lot of these new
LVT,
luxury vinyl tile. It's a great material. I love it. I mean, I go into houses all the time, and I say, "Ma'am, you should get the carpet out of here." Your dogs.
Vinyl cleaning doesn't require someone to come to your
you
house.
just mop it off.
You just mop it off.
Yeah, just mop it off. It's just hard plastic, And so the older style of those floors, they were like cardboard with a sheet of plastic on it that looked like wood, right? And then so if a dog took a tinkle on it or something, it would seep in between the material and start puffing up because the cardboard would get wet underneath, because that's essentially what it was. And then it would just destroy the floor, so even the lightest amount of moisture. So they were very hard to clean. They were hard to maintain. They fell apart. So these new materials are solid vinyl all the way through. And it's just a really good product. And we like it. I'm not going to say, everyone in America, please put as much carpet down as possible so I don't go out of business. But, if you got a room that your dog's peeing in every day, maybe you should take the carpet out. That's all. I did. I mean, I have carpet in my bedroom.
See, that's good advice, I mean,
I'm not going to lie about it.
That's integrity right there.
Well, and that's why we added on wood floor cleaning. We also built, I didn't mention this brand, our third brand. So there's Premier Carpet Cleaning, Rare Restoration, and the new one is Springs Rug Spa. And so that's focused entirely on handmade rugs. Okay. So those are, we're bringing them in. We've got a special machine that dusts them. I mean, I've gotten 5 pounds of dust out of one rug before. Just incredible. Wow. The amount of dead skin that was in this thing. I mean, we got a picture of it online. It's like a big heap out of this one
nice.
rug. And then we run it through what's called a river. So it basically puts 45 gallons a minute of water softened water through the rug. I mean, it's as clean as it's going to get. And then especially when we're dealing with like really high-end rugs that haven't been soured or sometimes has loose dyes, we can go through the process of stripping those excess dyes, because I don't know if you've seen like a rug where the colors kind of all bled together because they spilled something on it or a dog peed on it, and so we can prevent that and fix that issue. In some cases, actually do color repair on them. So we're really trying to specialize in those rugs, because that's what really happens. People, they take their carpet out, and what do? They put a rug on it. They're going to put something else on, because they want something comfortable. They want something to keep the noise down in the home. So especially a house that's like, I don't know if you've ever been in a house that's all marble, but I mean, you can hear someone sneeze on the other side of the house.
We've got blankets in here, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the same idea, that carpet. And also, a lot of times people, they have this impression that carpet like encourages allergies, and it's really the opposite. And they've done studies on this to prove this, because the carpet's an air filter. I mean, look at the carpet right now.
It captures it.
Exactly. See all these little white particles and everything? That if this was all hard surface, that would all just be floating around in here. And so that is a very big filter that you walk around in. And so every time you step on your hard surface, you just kick that dust right back up in your face. So carpets actually improve indoor air quality. They reduce sound. They really just give you a comfier floor. So really, do I see the future of everyone having carpet absolutely everywhere? No, but I don't think it's going to go away ever. It's also it's easy to replace. It's cost effective in many cases, especially with like the evolution of some of these cheaper products like olefins and polypropylenes have really dragged the price down. And a lot of these are now completely recyclable. So the carpet goes in. 5 years later, it goes back out. They melt it down, make new carpet again. Yeah. So that's great for the environment too. Meanwhile, a lot of these hard surface materials, as soon as they're done with them, they're going in the dumpster. So there is some ups and downs, with each type of material. But I think with carpet, we won't see it here, absolutely everywhere like we currently do. But we do see
a reduction of it.
A reduction, and but that's okay though. Where it says the rugs and the other things that are keeping us busy, and restoration, of course, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, what if I spill a glass of wine on my white carpet? What do I do?
Well, you're going to get something very absorbent. Okay. I personally like toilet paper.
Okay.
It works well. And you're going to get a lot of weight. So generally your best bet is the ball of your heel. And you're going to stand on one foot and you're going to compress. And you're just going to stand there for a minute. And that's going to cause a natural wicking reaction. Just like if you ever dunk a paper towel in a cup of water and you watch it kind of scooch up. So you're just going to keep doing that. And honestly, if you catch it right away and you keep doing that long enough, you will get 95% at least. Because carpet is plastic. Yeah. And I think a lot of times people see that and they're like, oh, it's a piece of fabric. It is not a piece of fabric. It is plastic. Interesting. And so when you take something way more absorbent like a toilet paper or a paper towel and you put it on that material, it's going to want to transfer away. It doesn't want to be there. It wants to go to the most absorbent material nearby, which is also why it goes on the pad. But we're not going to talk about that. So, but as far as the carpet goes, you're going to compress that and push that up. And so, and you just keep doing that. And you get that to that carpet's 100% dry. If it's the right kind of carpet, you won't have any stain at all. A lot of new polyester materials, a lot of the newer generation of nylons with the built-in fluorocarbons, you're done. Okay, now let's just presume you're not lucky enough to have one of those very expensive carpets. So you have one of the older materials. After you've done all that absorbent work, I like good old-fashioned hydrogen peroxide. You can just get it at Walgreens. You don't need to go to Sally Beauty Supply and get the stuff that's going to take the color out of your hair. That stuff's too strong, and it'll burn your skin and possibly bleach the carpet. But you just mist it on there, and you'll watch a reaction occur as the oxidizers break down that material. So honestly, anything short of a wool carpet, this is totally safe. I always, as a disclaimer, to do a color safe test somewhere inconspicuous so I don't get any phone calls, people saying, oh, you told me to do this, I bleached my carpet out. But it's very safe. And that goes for any kind of organic material. So when we talk about organic, we always want to think about oxygen and how those kind of relate to each other. So urine, same thing, some oxidizer, red wine, coffee. Once you start getting to that other range of those man-made, those synthetic materials, Kool-Aid, hair dye, those aren't organic. Those oxidizers aren't going to do anything. So really, if you run one of those, you really need to call a professional. But even then, if you get a lot of organic stains going on, you're going to want to call a professional. You're going to sit there and buy 50 bottles of, Walgreens hydrogen peroxide. Give us a call. We're going to be able to do it, make it faster, make it more efficient. It's going to be a lot better. It's going to stay cleaner longer too. So especially compared to those little home rental units. So the most important thing is tackling it right when it happens. If you can, absolutely. But that's not always the case. I know my 16-year-old dog just passed away, and so I would have to leave her at home, and I felt bad because she was always used to wander around the house, so I refused to kennel her because she would just cry all the time. But anyway, I'd come home and she'd peed on the floor. And it's long dry. So at that juncture, we're going to skip that absorbing process. We're going to straight to that peroxide, get a little damp, and then do some absorbing. And then once you feel like you've absorbed enough of that, wear some gloves because the peroxide will burn your skin a little bit. And then put that peroxide on and just leave it alone. So unfortunately, with the nature of carpet, because it is that plasticky material, it will be in the pad. And so when it comes to resolving those padding issues, I would recommend calling a professional. Don't try to uninstall your carpet and replace your padding yourself unless you want to. It's a lot of work. Do you guys replace padding? Yeah, on real bad ones. We call that a remediation. Okay. So generally, urine damage work kind of comes in 4 categories. We got light, heavy, subsurface, and remediation. So light is just we're doing our normal cleaning thing. We're adding disinfectants. We're adding oxidizers to help break break down that material. Heavy is same idea. We're just going to be more aggressive, get some of that into the backing because the backing is also very absorbent. And then third is subsurface. That's where we're actually going to go through, pinpoint the issues, blacklight, inspect the carpet, figure out exactly where everything is. I mean, this sometimes involves literally crawling around on your hands and knees sniffing carpet. I've had enough people stare at me like, whoa, what are you doing? And I'm like, hey, that's how your dog does it. So let's figure it out. This is where it is. Boom. Yep, it's right here.
You got the equipment on your face.
Yeah, that's what it's for. And so we figure out where the problem is, and then you take buckets and just fill the pad and then use weight to compress the urine out. And it's very slow, very tedious, very expensive when you have a lot of it. So generally, our rule of thumb, if you got more than 20% of the room damaged with urine, throw it away. Don't even bother.
Could you, or is there invention that can sniff for pet urine?
I have thought about that for years. I wish there was. But especially Colorado, we have kind of a tricky environment. So in Colorado, in the urine industry, I guess, we use a black light. It's called a
black light.
Yeah, ultraviolet light. And so we go through and inspect for it. However, if you have a more modern carpet, you have like a polyethylene, Traxlate, pet carpet, something like that, those materials are so slippery that the animal can pee on it and that black light won't show a thing. Because that pee, it literally, it's like pouring water on a plastic bag. None of it sticks to it. It just falls off. But this is happening on a molecular level. So it's very small. But it's just falling off of that plastic bag, and it's all underneath. And at that juncture, you can't see it with a black light. And then so there's the other thing is we use like a moisture probe where we go around and stab the carpet. And because urine in humid climates, not here, will hold, because it's got salt in it, and it holds moisture way longer. And the urine salts will actually set off moisture probes, very similar to using restoration. However, in Colorado, it's so dry.
Yeah, it's dry here.
It doesn't work. So unless you it will work if you get like a long period of rain, where it's really humid in the house, it will actually work again because those urine salts will grab some more of those water molecules. But unfortunately here, that literally just comes down to A, I'm going to uninstall your carpet, or B, I'm going to smell it. In those cases, on those carpets that just won't show anything. And so if in a bad one, we'll just pull the carpet back and you'll see it. It looks like a topographical map, of urine. Ding, 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 just these little spots everywhere.
Nice.
And every time you do that, the customer's always just like, whoa, I thought they peed once. It's never the case. There's usually 100 of them back there.
Oh, wow.
Because they're, you think you're always watching what Fluffy's doing, but Fluffy's off, sneaking around on you, doing stuff he should. Yeah, but, in those extreme cases, we'll go through. If it's a really nice carpet, we'll actually pull the padding out, because the pad's not very expensive. We have 20 varieties of pad at our warehouse, and we just basically replace the padding and then paint seal the subfloor, clean the back of the carpet, reinstall it. That's your best case scenario. Now, if that's got to be a high-end carpet, though. If you've got the, buck chuck square foot stuff from, manufactured and who knows where, the really cheap builder grade carpet, it's not going to make sense for you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to probably just go ahead and just buy some new carpet for that room. And if it's just one room, you can go down to, we like Carpet Clearance Warehouse. We got buddies down there. A lot of great places over on Fillmore, and you get some remnant carpet and replace that whole room for a couple $100. It might not be the exact color you want. It's not going to match everything, but in some cases, if you're more worried about a sanitary environment, then that's a great option. I'm never going to try to talk you into spending $1,000 trying to clean pee out of this room when you should probably go get some new stuff for $300.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense. Once it gets over a certain percentage of that room, it's always going to go. So yeah.
Cool.
I can talk about pee all day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm basically not allowed to talk about it at home anymore.
Okay.
That's how excited I am about urine. I just love pee. So,
my little brother, he's an electrician, and he when I was living with him, he'd always talk about electric stuff.
Oh yeah,
nonstop.
Oh, sure. It's become a hobby after a while. A good business owner doesn't just do it because I make money doing it. It's because you kind of become passionate about it. I think a lot of people, when they're thinking about starting a business, because I get a lot of friends of mine that talk to me like, oh, Robert, I want to start my own business. How do you do that?
Yeah.
And honestly, my first answer to them is get a day job and copy whatever they're doing. Don't just go, well, I'm going to what? They don't have an answer. I'm not going to tell you.
Don't know either.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you to go clean carpets. You don't know what the hell you're. You don't know what you're doing. You go work for somebody. It's something that you seem like you're interested in. Learn something about the industry and see if you want to do that forever. Because you're kind of. Once you start doing it, you really there's no takesy backsies once you spend a bunch of money. And so and two, learn a little bit about it. And a lot of times people there's like, I want to be an entrepreneur. great. What do you know? You know, it's, I mean, I guess you can go invent a squatty potty or something, but, unless you're that guy, you really need to have some background in what you're trying to start. You can't just start with zero, because 0 times 0 is 0. It's nothing. You can't have anything without, some level of knowledge, and sometimes like my buddy, he was doing, what do you call it? He worked with a company doing like cave tours,
Okay.
And he's like, I want to start a business, and I'm like, oh, like what? And he's like, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm like, why don't you start a cave touring business?
Yeah.
And then he goes, yeah, that's a good idea, and then he just moved somewhere else and started a cave touring business,
Nice.
So, it's very, that's a great way to do it, but you're never going to be able to sell something that if you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, if you're not selling your service all the time, you're not, letting people know what you do. I mean, you can be a doctor in a room when no one shows up. You can be a lawyer where you have no clients. It doesn't matter how much money or time you spent in that education. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't have marketing to go along with it, all those things come together as one big piece. So, at this point, I mean, I do every little bit of the business, and now that I'm a big enough business, I'm starting to step away from those bits.
Yeah.
And that's the next step is as you grow, because at first you got to know everything. I do the accounting, I do the marketing, I did the machine fixing, I did the cleaning, I did the blah 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 blah. I mean, every little thing, and then as you start to get bigger, then you have the opportunity to start delegating those things. There's that kind of the concept of the brain trust. So now I don't do as much of the repairs as I used to. I got my main man for that. I don't do as much of the marketing as I used to, and so on and so forth. And eventually it gets to the point where I can focus really on the marketing and the relationship building portion, as opposed to I'm fixing machines, I'm cleaning all the carpets.
And the managing.
But that takes a long time.
So you're putting the cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that takes a long time to get to that point.
Yeah.
Each little step and every little system you build, because there's plenty of these things, even in the carpet cleaning industry, there's these gurus, and they all say, well, this is how you're going to do it. Here's a roadmap to success. Well, I know about 1,000 guys that bought that roadmap to success that are out of business. So, it's not really that simple.
Yeah.
You have to work with your town and your prices and your area and your equipment and what you have to work with and your people. Every person that works for you is completely different. You need to get to know them. Everyone wants this kind of robot employee, that just goes and does what you tell them. That's not really how people are. People have real things going on. And so, in order to grow to that next level, you have to you can read some books about the systems, but don't just imagine something that's just going to be put into place, because that's not really the case. Because out of the 12 businesses I bought, I think 6 of them have kind of bought into these programs where they spent thousands of dollars getting trained in these roadmap to success programs. And they're, guess what?
There's 1,000 elements you can't predict.
Exactly. There's too much. I mean, yes, you can go get some education on management and stuff like that, but at the same juncture, at the end of the day, it's up to you to build those systems, or if not necessarily just build them, but put them into place and actually make them function. It's easy enough for some guy standing at a podium to say, well, this is how I did it in 1985 when I opened my business. Well, it's not 1985.
Well, even in 2019,
a lot of changes. Not 2020 to 2019. Just this past year. Well, you got to change everything right now. Get used to it. So
things change completely, and
change is the only one sure thing.
So when you started doing delegating stuff, how did you go about doing that? How did you go about actually going and getting the customers and servicing the customers? Was it just capital was there for you to reach other people, or?
Well, I basically grew the one van to the point where it was so bloated that I was running myself ragged. It's just I was doing the work of 2 vans already. And I was, basically I'd work a 10-hour day, 10, 12-hour day, and then inevitably something breaks, because that's just the name of the business. Carpet cleaning equipment, it's very hard, lots of pressure, lots of heat, lots of vacuum pressures, a lot of forceful components at play here. And at the end of the day, I'd go home, and then I'd spend 2 more hours fixing all the stuff. And so at that point, I had this really great employee with me who allowed me to give him that trust, and I think especially a lot of small business owners, that's the thing that they get there, and I did especially get stuck in their head, like, no one can do it as good as me.
Exactly.
I'm the best. No one can replace me in any facet. I am the one, and you have to step away from that and know that people can do it.
Yes.
You just have to be the one who's going to, instead of being the person who's hands-on all the time, is 1, get some trust, 2, train really well, train,
Yes.
train. And that's one of the conversations I have with some of my guys now is that we are always training, always training. I've done over 20,000 carpet cleanings in Colorado Springs personally.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I have probably been in your house.
Talk about 10,000 hours.
Yeah, there's a very good chance I have been in your home. I have been in like something like 12 or 15% of houses.
Oh, wow.
I have been inside the building. So with that, it's just you have to learn to trust. And yes, we can follow through quality control. So do those things. Make sure that they're meeting to those standards, and start to let yourself grow.
Yes.
And so I would not. I mean, I was just bloated. I was, I was Fat Albert and a skinny jean. I was just ready to explode.
Nice.
And so at that point, it was really easy for
Did you
things
just make
to
that
happen.
up? Fat
Yes,
Albert and
yeah.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Man, thank you. You can quote me on that one. But it was just easy for me because it was just a matter of undoing the belt, and it just, and just kind of, next thing you know, there's more and there's more and there's more. And, it just gets really exciting at that point. It's harder. It's a different kind of hard. It's not the same kind of hard as, 12 hours on a truck, psychological, physical, draining type hard. But it's definitely a different experience and a little bit more for getting ready for the unexpected, because there's no bigger change factor than human beings. You can't bring, anything else in the business. Nothing brings unexpected like people.
Chaos.
Yeah. So, and I tell that to my customers too, sometimes when we're scheduling, because I'll get a customer be like, can you be there exactly at 3:00? And I said, probably, but vans break, people, the job before you, maybe the house is filled with trash. You never know, when
you can give a window. Though.
Yeah. We're usually pretty darn close to that 3:00 or whatever it is. We schedule our day nice and light enough where everybody can get, eat lunch and that kind of stuff. But there's just those unexpecteds, and that's what when you get to that management portion where you're just putting out fires and making things go smoothly and helping X, Y, and Z. And the other day I had to go drive one of my technicians' wife to a doctor's appointment because her car broke down in the middle of the day. So I drove and just went and picked her up and took her to a doctor's appointment. It doesn't matter. We just kind of just go with the flow.
Yeah.
So,
thanks. Yeah.
Expect the unexpected. So,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And it's so cool that exact feeling of doing something and only you can do it.
Yeah.
It applies to carpet cleaning. It even applies to this show.
Yeah.
Like I edit these episodes and I feel like I can only edit it the way I know how, but I'm training Chuck to edit exactly how to do it. And, once we get to that point, we'll be able to even accelerate faster, and I'll be able to focus on other parts of the show.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah, well, because your focus is important, and time, especially when you're the entrepreneur, the leader in the system, that time is so precious and so quickly gone. Like so occasionally I'll find myself, I'm back in the warehouse just organizing, putting away boxes, and then I'm like, what am I doing? I have like so much other stuff to do, but it's just my I'm just being, it's my organizational
type A personality.
Yeah, I'm just like, this has to be put away. It's not put away, and I, meanwhile I'm killing hours, doing stuff that shouldn't be my job.
The ROI is a lot better somewhere else.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can have someone else doing that for a whole lot less than the time I could spend bringing more work in, yeah, absolutely. I find myself doing that all the time, just like killing time doing things I really shouldn't be doing.
For sure.
But it's also kind of relaxing, you're just like, oh, put the box over here, the oil goes with the oil, that kind of stuff. It's very soothing because it's simple and it's, it's a nice afternoon of sweeping or whatever, that you don't really.
I feel you.
Shouldn't be wasting your time.
Yeah. Sometimes when you have more important stuff going on, you end up cleaning your room, or it happens.
Yeah. You got a big paper due? I'm going to paint the outside of my house.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever. So.
Well, I guess actually we'll start wrapping up the show.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to promote or let people know about what you do?
Well, you said rap, so I'm going to use this as a segue. Okay. So I wrote this song because so our phone number is the word carpets.
Okay.
So it's 719 carpets, plural. And so I wrote this song. Kids and pets got the best of you. 719 carpets to the rescue. All right. So
I had a burger delivery company in like 2012.
Yeah.
It was barely just a startup,
Yeah.
and I did the same thing. It was my phone number was 78. I forget the full number actually, but it's 5502. It said if you're too drunk, it's 782 It said, if you're too drunk to drive and you had a few, call 728-5502.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, I want to put a beat to that.
Yeah,
That's good stuff. Yeah,
Because it was a burger delivery company, and it was before Grubhub. It was before all those things. It was 2012, so
Yeah.
So it was like, I was like really
man,
capitalizing
you could
on it.
have done something big with that, man. You could have been loaded right now.
Yeah.
Actually, the funny part, that phone number was the Humane Society's number. I didn't know that when I bought the phone number.
okay.
Yeah, it was 719-227-PETS, and to this day, and this is 8 years ago now. I bought that phone number. Yeah, I still get calls for the Humane Society. Still get calls.
bet,
There's someone out there who still got that phone book,
Mm-hmm.
from like 2012, and is still using it and
Mm-hmm.
trying to call the Humane Society. We go in probably every month or two. It's pretty impressive.
Do you get business from that?
I'll be honest with you. It's the same person that keeps calling,
okay.
and so we just, we're just really nice to her.
Just an old
and
lady.
we just say, ma'am, I'm sorry, this still isn't the Humane Society. If you ever want your carpets clean, it was 79227-PETS, car pets, the
Nice.
back of that. And I remember I turned the phone number on, and because I was just, dialing random numbers to see if it was disconnected, for carpets or other words I was trying. And I turned the phone number on the very next day, just ringing off the hook. I'm like, what is going on? Because it was an extension there. And for some reason they turned it off. And I just happened to be the guy who bought the phone number. But
They should give a lull time. I guess even if they gave a lull
I
time,
think
wouldn't
it did
matter.
because it was in the phone book. Yeah. So I mean, I have it a lull till like 8 years now.
Yeah,
Still getting calls.
exactly.
But yeah, that was quite the experience.
For sure.
Great.
Well,
I really had a great time. Thank you.
this is fun.
Yeah.
So this has been the Colorado Springs Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.